What makes us choose one love over many, or many over one? Is monogamy a natural instinct, or is it a social construct forged by centuries of tradition? Yet, amidst these choices lies a darker thread, the psychology of betrayal. Why do people cheat? Is it a failure of love, or a reflection of something deeper within us, our upbringing, or the fragile dynamics of human connection? Beneath the veneer of loyalty lies a battlefield of emotions, fear of abandonment, unmet desires, and unresolved inner conflicts. Let's uncover the tangled roots of love, freedom, and infidelity. In this 8-chapter video, we will learn the psychology behind cheating, why people cheat, and to ask the question. Chapter 1. Horror of cheating. The mere thought of cheating feels like an earthquake shaking the foundations of trust, isn't it? It's strange how it feels universally terrifying. Even to those who've never experienced it, just the thought of it can take away your sleep and peace. Cheating isn't just an action. It's a symbol of broken promises, crumbled security, and the fear that nothing is ever as it seems. Cheating doesn't just scar the betrayed, it shatters the essence of safety we seek in relationships. At its core, the human need for connection stems from a psychological drive for security, a remnant of our evolutionary past. Relationships are meant to be that shelter, a place where the mind rests and the soul finds companionship. Betrayal, however, flips that sanctuary into a battlefield, and the casualty is often trust. This reaction isn't just emotional, it's biological. Studies on betrayal, Baumeister 1994, suggest that the brain processes emotional pain like physical pain, and don't let me start with the symptoms. Your immune system weakens, your body will reject food and sleep, will feel tired, always, and exercises will become a horror. When someone cheats, it's akin to having a dagger driven into the psyche, leaving wounds that heal slowly, if at all. The fear of this pain is why the very mention of infidelity sends chills down our spines. In today's age, the fear of cheating isn't just personal, it's societal. Every swipe through TikTok or Instagram is a reminder of stories where trust has crumbled. These digital boogeymen loom large, making betrayal feel more common than it might actually be. The curated world of social media amplifies insecurities, showcasing a reality where loyalty seems rarer than it is. It's a modern paradox. The more we see it, the less we believe in fidelity. In this chapter, we've laid the groundwork, cheating's psychological grip and societal magnification. Next, we'll dive into why people cheat and what this says about human nature. Chapter 2. Why people cheat. Why do people cheat? It's a question as old as relationships themselves, a riddle that leaves even the most faithful scratching their heads. At its core, infidelity isn't just about desire. It's a mirror reflecting the complexities of human nature, our fears, and the unspoken gaps in connection. The psychology behind infidelity. Cheating isn't always born from malice. Often, it stems from unresolved inner conflicts. Psychologists like Dr. Esther Perel suggest that infidelity isn't always a rejection of one's partner, but sometimes a desperate attempt to reconnect with lost parts of oneself. It's a misguided search for novelty, validation, or freedom, a rebellion against monotony or unmet needs. Attachment theory sheds more light here. People with insecure attachment styles, especially avoidant or anxious types, are statistically more prone to infidelity. Why? Because their relationships often feel like emotional minefields. Avoidants may cheat to maintain distance, fearing the vulnerability of intimacy. On the flip side, anxious individuals might seek external validation, a safety net for their fear of abandonment. While psychology explains the why, opportunity plays a significant role in the how. Studies, Dual, 2011, show that people in positions of power or surrounded by temptations are more likely to cheat, not because they're inherently unfaithful, but because they face more chances to act on fleeting impulses. Impulse itself is a fickle beast. Cheating often isn't premeditated, but occurs in moments of weakness. It's like a storm, sudden, chaotic, and destructive, leaving wreckage for all involved. The Stoics saw such impulses as obstacles to inner peace. Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Cheating, when stripped bare, is often a failure of self-control, an inability to resist fleeting desires for the sake of lasting values. True freedom lies in mastering one's impulses, not being enslaved by them. The ripple effect of infidelity. Infidelity isn't just a betrayal of one partner. It's a betrayal of trust, stability, and, often, one's own integrity. It leaves scars not just on relationships, but on the individuals involved. To understand cheating is to understand the vulnerability of the human condition, the search for connection, and the simultaneous fear of losing it. Next, we'll unravel the impact of cheating on both partners and the subtle ways it reshapes relationships. Chapter 3. Impact of cheating. What happens after betrayal? Infidelity doesn't just break hearts, it reshapes them. The aftermath of cheating leaves an imprint not only on the betrayed, but also on the betrayer. These scars, visible or hidden, tell stories of shattered trust, altered perspectives, and sometimes the hope for healing. Trust as the first casualty. For the betrayed, cheating feels like stepping into quicksand. Trust, once firm, is sucked away, leaving them questioning not only their partner, but their perception of reality. This phenomenon, sometimes called betrayal blindness, Freud, 1996, occurs because the mind struggles to reconcile the truth with the imagined stability of the relationship. Self-worth also takes a blow. Thoughts like, "Am I not enough?" or "What did I do wrong?" creep in, gnawing at confidence. This emotional spiral isn't just personal, it's biological. Studies show that betrayal activates stress responses in the brain, similar to grief or trauma. Shackelford, 2002. But it's not all despair. Many find that the pain of betrayal becomes a crucible for growth. When the dust settles, some rebuild themselves stronger, with clearer boundaries and renewed self-respect. Cheaters often face an internal storm of guilt, shame, and rationalization. They might minimize their actions with thoughts like, "It didn't mean anything," or project blame to justify their behavior. Yet, beneath the defenses lies a deeper reckoning. Philosophically, this aligns with the idea of akrasia, acting against one's better judgment. Aristotle argued that such behavior stems from a conflict between desire and reason. The betrayer, in seeking short-term satisfaction, sacrifices long-term integrity, leaving behind a residue of regret that's hard to wash away. Cheating is like an earthquake in a relationship, shaking its foundation to the core. Some relationships crumble under the weight, while others attempt to rebuild. Repairing trust takes time, transparency, and an unwavering commitment to honesty. For some, though, the betrayal creates an unbridgeable chasm. Here, Stoic wisdom offers solace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." Even in the dissolution of a relationship, there's room for transformation and growth. Cheating doesn't just affect individuals. It alters societal views on love and loyalty. Stories of infidelity fuel cynicism, making trust feel elusive. But these experiences also remind us of the fragility of human bonds and the need to nurture them with care. Next, we'll explore how to recognize the warning signs of disconnection before infidelity strikes. Chapter 4. Catching the cracks before they widen. How do relationships slip into the shadow of infidelity? It rarely happens overnight. Cheating often begins in the subtle shifts, the small cracks in connection that go unnoticed or ignored. Recognizing these warning signs can be the difference between repairing a bond and watching it unravel. Emotional distance is often the first red flag. Conversations become transactional, about bills, chores, or logistics, lacking depth or intimacy. The spark that once fueled shared laughter and late-night talks dims, replaced by silence or surface-level interactions. Psychologically, this shift can stem from unresolved resentment. When issues aren't addressed, they fester, creating emotional walls. Couples who avoid conflict may think they're protecting their relationship, but in reality, they're burying their connection under unspoken frustrations. A decline in physical intimacy is another common signal. This isn't just about sex, but all forms of affection, holding hands, hugging, or even a playful touch. When these disappear, it often reflects a deeper disconnection. Interestingly, research, Johnson, 2002, suggests that physical touch fosters oxytocin release, a hormone linked to bonding and trust. Its absence can make partners feel distant, amplifying feelings of neglect or unimportance. When one partner starts seeking emotional fulfillment outside the relationship, whether through a coworker, friend, or even a stranger, it's a sign of trouble. Emotional affairs often begin innocently, but can spiral into deeper attachments that rival or replace the primary relationship. From a Stoic perspective, this reflects misplaced priorities. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When someone starts seeking external validation, it often points to unaddressed wants or insecurities within themselves, not just the relationship. Avoidance takes many forms: spending more time at work, excessive screen time, or withdrawing into hobbies. These behaviors might seem harmless, but they can signal an attempt to escape the emotional demands of a relationship. This is where self-awareness becomes crucial. Partners must ask themselves, am I pulling away because of unresolved issues, or is it fear of confronting discomfort? Rebuilding before it's too late. The cracks, if caught early, don't have to mean the end. Open communication and mutual effort can mend even deep divides. But ignoring these signs allows disconnection to grow until cheating becomes the byproduct of unmet needs. In the next chapter, we'll discuss the art of communication, how to bridge divides and foster lasting connection in relationships. Chapter 5. Communication. Communication, often called the lifeblood of relationships, because it isn't just about sharing information. It's about creating understanding, building trust, and nurturing connection. Without effective communication, even the strongest bonds can falter. But how do we get better at this skill that seems so simple, yet feels so elusive? True listening isn't passive. It's active and intentional. When your partner speaks, are you already preparing your response, or are you fully absorbing their words? Most people fall into the trap of waiting to talk rather than listening to understand. Studies on active listening, Rogers and Farson, 1957, highlight its importance in fostering empathy and connection. Listening without judgment or interruption allows the speaker to feel seen and valued. It's not about fixing their problems, but about creating a safe space for them to express. Vulnerability, the language of trust. Most people do not like to be vulnerable because vulnerability is considered to be a sign of weakness, while it is in fact strength. When you share your fear, desire, or insecurity, you let your partner share the same with you as well. It is vulnerability that holds two persons together emotionally. So to quote the words of Brené Brown, vulnerability is the birthplace of everything that matters. Without it, where problems slowly fester without any action being taken to resolve them. Yet, people know that actions mean much more than what words, though words can be treacherously dangerous. Facial expressions, Voice intonation and gestures reveal emotions much more accurately than spoken words do. For instance, a dismissive, "I'm listening while on your phone," at the same time shows listeners that you could not care less. The experts in psychological sciences have stated that nonverbal communication constitutes as much as 93% of emotional information, 1971. Physical presence in your gestures and facial expressions communicate to your partner that they are more important than whatever else is going on. Conflicts are normal in relationships and does not have to be lethal or heated. In any healthy conflict, people want to solve issues, not have at each other. Do not use blame words such as, "You never something," and use "I feel" statement, which are used to express emotion and not guilt. There exists one dominant piece of wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor. It is in your power to live or not to live. Know this, and you will be strong. In conflict, managing emotions instead of partners' actions determines how the conflict will be solved and if it will be escalated. What is more, Epictetus says, "There are 2 ears and 1 mouth," depicting we should listen twice as much as we speak. Occasional heart-to-hearts won't sustain a relationship. Communication thrives on consistency, checking in daily, celebrating small victories, and addressing concerns promptly. Neglecting this leads to emotional drift, where one day you wake up feeling like strangers. Communication is a skill that takes practice and patience. When done well, it can transform a relationship, making it resilient against challenges. In the next chapter, we'll explore how personal growth within a relationship is essential to preventing infidelity and building a thriving connection. Chapter 6: Personal Growth. What does personal growth have to do with relationships? Everything. At its core, a thriving relationship isn't about 2 perfect people coming together. It's about 2 imperfect people continuously growing, both individually and as a pair. When growth stagnates, connection erodes, and the risk of seeking fulfillment elsewhere grows. The role of self-awareness in relationships. A strong relationship starts with knowing yourself. This includes understanding your values, triggers, and patterns. Without self-awareness, you're likely to project unresolved insecurities onto your partner, mistaking personal shortcomings for relationship flaws. Psychologist Daniel Goleman, known for his work on emotional intelligence, identified self-awareness as the cornerstone of healthy interpersonal relationships. By recognizing and managing your emotional states, you create a space where your partner feels safe and understood. Ask yourself, am I addressing my insecurities, or am I relying on my partner to fill those gaps? Individual growth should complement, not compete with, the relationship. A union is strongest when both partners inspire each other to evolve. This doesn't mean constantly striving for lofty goals. It can be as simple as learning a new skill, deepening emotional maturity, or improving communication. Think of growth as tending a garden. If one side flourishes while the other withers, imbalance breeds resentment. By nurturing growth in tandem, you build a relationship that thrives in mutual respect and shared effort. Stagnation. When one or both partners stop growing, complacency sets in. This stagnation often manifests as boredom, lack of effort, or feeling stuck. Over time, the emotional distance grows, and people may seek excitement or validation outside the relationship. In the words of Stoic philosopher Epictetus, progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. Relationships demand this same diligence, choosing to grow rather than remain idle. While growth is vital, it must be balanced. Codependency occurs when one partner's growth becomes dependent on the other's validation or approval. This dynamic stifles individuality and creates an unhealthy reliance that weakens the relationship's foundation. Encourage your partner's independence while also supporting shared goals. Healthy relationships are partnerships, not mergers. Two fulfilled individuals create a stronger we. The ripple effect of growth. Personal growth doesn't just benefit you, it radiates outward. By pursuing self-improvement, you inspire your partner to do the same. This ripple effect fosters a positive cycle of mutual encouragement and deepens the bond between you. Personal growth isn't a box to check off. It's a lifelong journey. When two people commit to growing side by side, they create a relationship that not only withstands challenges, but thrives in them. In the next chapter, we'll tackle the red flags and green lights in relationships that signal when to hold on and when to walk away. Chapter 7. Decoding the signs of a healthy relationship. How do you know when a relationship is worth fighting for, or when it's time to let go? Life rarely hands us clear answers. Instead, relationships are filled with signs, some signaling growth and connection, others pointing to toxicity and decline. The key lies in learning to read them. The warning signals. Red flags aren't always obvious. They're often subtle behaviors or patterns that, if ignored, can erode trust, respect, and emotional well-being. While everyone has flaws, persistent issues often point to deeper incompatibilities. Here are some common red flags. 1. Lack of communication. If your partner consistently avoids tough conversations, dismisses your feelings, or refuses to open up, it signals a breakdown in emotional connection. 2. Disrespect. Sarcasm, belittling comments, or ignoring boundaries are not quirks. They're signs of a lack of respect. 3. Control or manipulation. One person dominating decisions or using guilt to influence the other shows an imbalance of power. 4. Consistent jealousy or insecurity. Occasional jealousy is human, but constant accusations or attempts to control your behavior are toxic. Philosopher Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Often red flags are ignored because we rationalize them away, but denying reality doesn't change it. It only delays the inevitable. Green lights, signs of a healthy relationship. Just as there are signs of trouble, there are also markers of a relationship that's thriving. Healthy relationships may not be perfect, but they are grounded in mutual respect and effort. 1. Open and honest communication. Partners who can express their feelings without fear of judgment build trust and emotional safety. She will love to tell about her day. 2. Mutual respect. Healthy relationships honor boundaries and value each other's individuality. Even if a conflict arises, she wouldn't forget to respect you. 3. Shared effort. A strong partnership involves equal investment, from solving conflicts to showing affection. She will try to resolve the issue, not oiling it further. 4. Growth-oriented mindset. Both partners encourage each other to evolve and pursue their dreams, individually and together. She will love to support your goals, while also respecting theirs. These green lights serve as a compass, guiding the relationship toward deeper connection and stability, or signs that this relationship needs your focus and actually worth your time. Ignoring the signs. Sometimes we see red flags, but choose to stay anyway. This often stems from fear of being alone, of starting over, or of losing the familiar. Psychologists call this sunk cost fallacy. The tendency to stick with something because of the time and effort already invested, even when it's no longer serving us. Acknowledging these fears is the first step toward breaking free. It's not about giving up. It's about reclaiming your peace and dignity, the courage to walk away. Leaving a toxic relationship isn't a failure. It's an act of self-respect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." In relationships, if it doesn't feel right or true to who you are, it's better to let go than to compromise your well-being. On the other hand, if the green lights outweigh the red flags, it might be worth the effort to repair and grow together. Healing requires humility, patience, and a commitment from both sides. A shared willingness to improve is the foundation of every successful reconciliation. The road to love is neither straight nor smooth. It requires navigating red flags with wisdom and appreciating green lights with gratitude. In the final chapter, we'll explore how to build resilience in love and create a partnership that endures life's storms. Chapter 8. Endurance in Love. How does love endure in the face of life's chaos and unpredictability? Relationships, like life itself, are a blend of joy and hardship, requiring resilience, patience, and an unshakable commitment to growth. Building a lasting partnership isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance. Resilience. Resilience in love begins with shared values and mutual respect. These act as the bedrock of any relationship, providing stability when external circumstances or internal conflicts threaten to pull you apart. Partners who endure together understand that love is not a fleeting emotion, but a practice, one that requires intentionality every single day. Shared purpose. Resilient couples have a sense of why behind their relationship. Whether it's building a family, supporting each other's ambitions, or simply finding joy in companionship, their purpose serves as a guiding star. Adaptability. Life changes, and so do people. Resilient relationships are flexible, allowing room for growth without letting the bond become brittle. Forgiveness. No relationship is free from mistakes. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting or condoning harmful behavior. It's about releasing resentment to heal and move forward. As the Stoics teach, to err is human, to forgive is divine. Forgiveness is a two-way street. The person seeking it must genuinely own their actions, while the one granting it must decide if the relationship is worth the emotional labor of rebuilding trust. Without accountability and genuine change, forgiveness becomes hollow. Rituals. Afraid not, it's not about religion. Rituals, small, intentional acts, help maintain connection through life's turbulence. Simple things like weekly date nights, morning coffee together, or even shared hobbies create anchors in the relationship. These moments serve as reminders of why you chose each other in the first place. Psychological studies on long-term relationships, Gottman, 1999, revealed that couples who maintain rituals and daily affirmations of love are more likely to stay together. These acts don't have to be grand. Consistency is what matters most. A paradox of resilience in love is the balance between independence and unity. Two strong individuals create a stronger whole. Relying solely on your partner for happiness leads to dependency, while neglecting the relationship in favor of independence fosters distance. True resilience lies in both partners being self-sufficient yet deeply committed. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Bringing this inner strength into your relationship enhances both its depth and longevity. Resilient relationships understand that adversity is inevitable, whether it's financial struggles, health challenges, or external pressures. The ability to navigate these storms as a team is what sets lasting partnerships apart. Key elements include 1. Patience. Trust that tough times are temporary and growth takes time. 2. Empathy. Understand and validate each other's feelings, even when they differ from your own. 3. Teamwork. Face challenges together, rather than letting them divide you. Endurance in love is less about dramatic gestures and more about showing up every day. Philosopher Alain de Botton describes love as a skill, not just an enthusiasm. Like any skill, it requires practice, patience, and a willingness to learn and adapt. In the end, enduring love is not about finding the perfect partner, but about creating a partnership where imperfection is embraced and growth is shared. With resilience, honesty, and intentionality, love can thrive. And so, love becomes an act of courage. The courage to stay, the courage to grow, and when necessary, the courage to let go. It is not merely a feeling but a choice, a daily decision to build something enduring, something beautiful, something worth fighting for. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and click the next video appearing. Your small effort is vital for us. Thanks.